Hi friends, welcome to or welcome back to the channel Jane Reads. My name is Jeanette and today I am going to show you every book that is on my owned TBR. So I'm sitting in front of my shelves in my TBR section. I've got my suspense up here, then a mix of other some historical, some contemporary, just others, and then historical. So I have taken off my classics, my nonfiction, my biography, to just kind of free up some space on here. So that's why we are sitting on the floor. I have also printed off my list of what is on my Kindle. So we're gonna add those book covers as well. I'm not gonna tell you about these books. I'm just gonna show you because otherwise this would be really long, because there is 117 books on my owned TBR. 85 of them are physical and only 32 are on my Kindle. I definitely buy more physical than Kindle books. Okay, so let's just dive right in with my random pile sitting here. So we have a biography, Peter Mansbridge, off the record. He was a CBC News anchor. Then we have a nonfiction, The Day the World Came to Town by Jim DeFeed. It's about Gander, Newfoundland, and the 911 attacks. I said I wasn't going to tell you about the books, and now I'm like, let's not do that. Okay. And then classics. We have A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, 450 from Paddington by Agatha Christie, At Bertram's Hotel by Agatha Christie, Black Beauty by Anna Sewell, and Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. This is not one I chose to add to my own TBR. It was thrown into one of my book outlet orders, and when I hauled it that time, everybody kind of told me I really should read it, so I haven't got rid of it. Let's start with suspense. So the first one that is not Christian fiction is Murder in Cabbagetown by Marlene Ritchie. It is set in Toronto, and I think it's written by a Canadian author as well. Okay, the rest of these are all going to be Christian fiction. Okay, alphabetical order for suspense. Girl Lost by Kate Angelo. Rising Danger by Jerusha Egan. The Next Target by Nikki Arana, I don't know. Crosshairs by Patricia Bradley, and Deception by Patricia Bradley. This is books 3 and 4 in the Natchez Park Rangers series. Alaska Twilight by Colleen Coble. The Trader's Pawn by Lisa Harris. Across the Kill by Andrew Huff. Deadfall by Nancy Mell. Freefall by Nancy Mell, books 2 and 3 of the Quantico Files series. Concrete Evidence by Diane Mills. When Death Draws Near by Carrie Stewart Parks. The Bones Will Speak by Carrie Stewart Parks. And Portrait of Vengeance by Carrie Stewart Parks. This is books 2, 3, and 4 for the Gwen Macy series. And Formula of Deception by Carrie Stewart Parks. And then Forget Me Now by Elena Terry, and Save Me Once by Elena Terry. Lights Out by Natalie Walters, Fatal Code by Natalie Walters, and Blind Trust by Natalie Walters. This is the whole series, 1, 2, and 3 of the Snap Agency. Okay, part of the True Colors series. So these are not in order because they're by author's last name. The Gray Chamber by Grace Hitchcock. The Purple Nightgown by A.D. Lawrence. The Blue Cloak by Shannon McNear. The Scarlet Pen by Jennifer Allmark. Allmark? I don't know how to say her last name. And The Black Midnight by Kathleen Yabarbo. Okay, moving into historical with suspense, we've got the Heroines of World War II series, some of them. Again, they're not in number order, they're by author's last name. So we've got The Escape from Amsterdam by Laura Lee Bliss, A Rose for the Resistance by Angela K. Couch, On My Honor by Patti Smith Hall, Season of My Enemy by Naomi Munch, Saving Mrs. Roosevelt by Candace Sue Patterson, A Picture of Hope by Liz Tolsma, and The Escape Game by Marilyn Turk. Okay, Love Inspired Suspense. Targeted for Elimination by Jill Elizabeth Nelson, Texas Revenge Target by Jill Elizabeth Nelson, and Attempted Mountain Abduction by Jessica R. Patch. Okay, Dual Timeline. The Master Craftsman by Kelly Stewart. And then these three are part of the Doors to the Past series. Again, they're not in order. They're not even in order alphabetically. Might fix that. Okay. So we've got Passages of Hope by Terry J. Haynes, Undercurrent of Secrets by Rachel Scott McDaniel, and A Promise Engraved by Liz Tolsma. Then in the young adult, we have The Golden Filly Collection, Volume 2 by Lorraine Snelling. And in contemporary, we have The Gathering Table by Catherine Springer, A Garden in Paris by Stephanie Grace Whitson, and A Hilltop in Tuscany by Stephanie Grace Whitson. This is books 1 and book 2. Then, speaking of books 1 and book 2, we have In Search of a Prince and To Win a Prince by Toni Shiloh. Now I'm going to bring you down a bit because I cannot kneel any longer. Okay, historical fiction. First author is Lynn Austen. So we have Chasing Shadows, All My Secrets, The Lumber Baron's Wife, and Long Way Home. Then we have Pepper Basham, and we have The Mistletoe Countess, The Cairo Curse, and The Juliet Code. This is books 1, 2, and 3 of the Freddie and Grace mystery, I think it's called. Okay, Elizabeth Camden. So we have A Desperate Hope, which is book 3 of a series. I don't remember the series name. It doesn't tell me the name inside. So I'm waiting to get books 1 and 2 before I read this one. And 2 more Elizabeth Camden. I've got Written on the Wind and Hearts of Steel, which are books 2 and 3 in the Blackstone Legacy series. I have read book 1. Then we have another series by Jennifer Delamere. This is Love Along the Wires. So book 1 is Line by Line, book 2 is Cross Lines, and book 3 is Holding the Line. Then we have The Stories That Bind Us by Susie Finkbeiner. I think so. And Along a Storied Trail by Anne H. Gabbard. Okay, 2 books by Kathy Golke. Ladies of the Lake, and This Promised Land. Love Me Tender by Janice Hanna. And then the 4 books in the Shenandoah Match series by Jody Headland. So, A Calling for the Matchmaker, Saved by the Matchmaker, A Wager with the Matchmaker, and Marrying the Matchmaker. And The London Restoration by Rachel McMillan. Stars in the Night by Kara C. Putman. A series by Liz Tolsma. This is I can't see the name of the series. I don't know. So we've got Snow on the Tulips, Daisies Are Forever, and Remember the Lilies. I'm pretty sure that is the correct order too. I think that's 1, 2, and 3. I could be wrong though. Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate, and A Song in the Dark by Kimberly Woodhouse. And the last 3 books are part of the A Day to Remember series. Again, they are not in order. I don't know the exact order, but I do know they're books 3, 4, and 5, or 4, 5, 6, something like that. But again, it's a companion series. You don't have to read them in order. And that is When the Avalanche Roared by Laura Lee Bliss, When the Mountain Crumbled by Angela K. Couch, and When the Sky Burned by Liz Tolsma. So that is all the books on my physical TBR. Now let me put these back and then we'll go over my Kindle TBR. contemporary romance. Until I Knew Myself by Tammy L. Gray. This is book 1 of the Bentwood series. Then we've got The Hero Next Door by Irene Hannon. This is book 2 of Lighthouse Lane. I got this one free, that's why I have book 2. Covering Christmas by Shanna Hatfield. This is book 14 of the Rodeo Romance series. Again, it was a free one. The Snowman's Sweetheart by Shanna Hatfield. This is book 1 of the Winter Wishes series. Most likely I picked it up for free as well. Then we have Twice Sold Tales by Shatona Havig. This is book 1 of the Book Strings series. Muskoka Hearts by Carolyn Miller. This is book 3 of the Muskoka Shores series. Fire and Ice by Carolyn Miller. This is book 1 of the Northwest Ice series. Everything's Coming Up Rosie by Courtney Walsh. I'll Be There by Susan May Warren. Dual timeline, I have Through Water and Stone by Karen Barnett. And then we move into historical. So in historical, we have Petticoat Detective by Margaret Brownlee. This is book 1 on the Undercover Ladies series. We have An Uncertain Road by Abby Downey, which is book 1 of the Adventurous Hearts series. Then I have book 1 and book 2 of the Harbored in Crow's Nest series by Danielle Garadini. I don't know. That is Confessions to a Stranger and Refuge for the Archaeologist. Then we have The Highest of Hopes by Susan Ann Mason. This is book 2 in the Canadian Crossing series. It is the next book I need to read in that series. Then we have 2 books, books 1 and 2 of the Regency Brides series by Carolyn Miller. Book 1 is The Elusive Miss Allison. And book 2 is The Captivating Lady Charlotte. Then Mist Over Channel Islands by Sarah Sundin. And another book 1 and book 2 of a series. That series is The Mystery Matchmaker of Ella Point by Tess Thompson. Book 1 is The Making of a Matchmaker. And book 2 is A Match for the Bookish Bride. Okay, those are all my historical. Now we get into suspense. So we have Taken by Dark by Christy Barrett. This is book 4 in the Carolina Moon series. It is the next one I need to read. We have Deadly Secrets by Margaret Daly. This is a novella. We have Double Exposure by Elizabeth Goddard, also a novella. Act of Valor by Dana Mentick. This is book 2 in the True Blue Canine Unit. It is the next one I need to read. Art of Deception by Kara Putman. This is the prequel to the Secrets to Keep series. I know that I got this one free. Another novella is Once a Thief by Jan Thompson. And then I have 4 books. So books 20, 21, 22, and 23 in the Psalm 23 Mysteries series. Book 20 is the next one I need to read. This is by Debbie Vigay. So book 20 is All the Days of My Life. Book 21 is I Will Dwell. Book 22 is In the House of the Lord. And 23 is Forever. Then I have Forged in Peril by Kendra Warden, which is book 1 of the Forge Brothers Security. And the last book on my Kindle is Crossfire by Susan May Warren, which is also a novella. So those are the 32 books that I have on my Kindle, along with the 85 that I have physically, which is a total of 117 books. Now, my goal was to get my TBR to under 100 by the end of the year. I think that was my goal. I never wanted to go over 130, which I have not gone over 130, but can I do 100? I don't know, because I want to buy books. Of course I want to buy books, but I don't have a ton of room on my physical shelves, so I need to read a bunch before I buy some. So we will see. But have you read any of these? Which ones do you think I will really enjoy? Which ones are going to be 5 stars for me that you would recommend? Or is there something on here that you're like, you're not gonna like that? I would love to chat in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.